Hi, my name is Milan, and I have been a professional artist since 1996. I painted this painting, and I'm going to show you in this video how I did it. Okay, well, I'm pretty excited. I'm going to start this painting. So my plan is I'm going to just start with acrylics and just kind of build up the general values. And then I'm gonna go with spray paint, and then I'm gonna try some oil pens because I just bought some oil pens and I haven't tried them out. And that sound. I actually have had this series in my heart for a while, probably almost a year, but I have more ideas than I have time to paint. So I got this idea of wanting to paint really like sensual, sweaty fruit, because not a lot of people paint still lifes. I wanted to kind of reinvent the still life and think about how to make a super experiential, sensual type of still life. So combining that with the Song of Solomon poem, it's this very sensual poem about two lovers and sort of how one is wooed by the other. And there's a lot of food references. The poem is written, it's just really, really beautiful how he describes food as a symbol for his lover. So I wanted to do a Song of Solomon series combining still life, and this is one of them in the series, but the other ones have sweatier fruit. So this fruit isn't so sweaty. It looks like I'm using golden today. I like golden paint a lot. It's probably one of the best on the market. I also like Da Vinci paint. I feel like Da Vinci paint is really, really great, and the colors are very saturated. I hate squirting out paint. I want a little fairy that squirts out my paint for me. I'm starting with my favorite brush ever. It's made with oxtail, which is great. It just like holds the paint fantastic. It's really fat, and you can just get a lot of paint down, and I love this brush for acrylic painting. So I'm just starting light, you know, with my lightest color, which is gonna be yellow. I'm just blocking in wherever on my source I see any kind of hint of yellow, anywhere. Yellow, 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 yellow. I guess to kind of just get a presence on the canvas, make a mark, just get I always say to violate the white, and acrylic is very forgivable. It can be covered up, especially if you paint with it thin. So starting with a thin wash is a way to start mapping out the big blocks of color. I knew from the photo and from the source, this was going to be, you know, lighter in tone, and it was going to be darker near the edges. So acrylic's like the best way to just cover some territory and get big blocks of things in. For me, it's really exciting. It's not just like in that moment it's exciting. Like I think about it the day before, like before I knew we were filming this, I was super excited. It was hard to even sleep because I'm starting a painting. And yeah, you have this white canvas, and to me it represents possibilities. I know for some artists, a blank white canvas is intimidating or it's scary. I've heard that from people. For me, it's never been that way. It's always felt like possibilities, fresh start. It's a blank white canvas and I'm gonna make my first marks, and I love that. It's more the middle of the painting that's hard for me. The beginning is great. If you don't project, then you do spend a big part of your painting time checking, rechecking, shifting, moving. You know what I mean? It's like, in some ways they come out cooler because you do see how you changed it, and they're not just like this like perfect little projection, and you can see like how you distorted it, which is to me always like a good fun thing. As long as it's believable, you know, you don't want it out of proportion or anything. So at this point, I'm going to, I think, play around with some spray paint. My left brain's not working. not doilies, lace. So I have some stencils that look like lace, and I'm hoping with some spray paint and different things in there that I can make this area down here a little more interesting from the source. By the end, it'll probably be covered up and painted over. And I think it's really important that your process is fun. It's got to be fun for you. You have to really enjoy, kind of hold in balance. You know, you're creating something for somebody else. Somebody's gonna buy this one day and this is going to be their painting, but it's your painting for right now, so you get to enjoy it and you get to enjoy making it. I love spray paint as a medium because it's very immediate. It's very high energy. It's just like, it comes out fast, it comes out definite, there's no messing around. You've got spray paint in your hands and now it's on your canvas. I like to just kind of have the freedom in the beginning, because I know I can always cover it up or change it, is to just make marks and do like fake writing, just put some stuff down. I really wanted the idea, a feast table in the forest or something like that. I use stencils to kind of give the idea in an abstract way of a tablecloth or textiles and fabric. Yeah, I don't know. I like it as just a process. Anytime I can use spray paint, I like to use it. But I don't love the way it looks as a finished thing. So I usually cover it up. But if we were to take away the spray paint that was there, you know, you would notice, you would see its absence. So that was fun. And there's a lot of that throughout that is in those like underneath layers that fill up the space with something interesting. Look at all this paint I didn't use, and I wasted all that oil, all that white. I swear a lot of artists make bad decisions because they don't want to waste paint and they just do things they actually don't want to do just to use up their paint. You know what I'm saying? Okay, well, going into this painting, I knew that the color palette was a little bit different for me because normally I'm like blue-red girl. Orange-green combo is always something I'm getting after John about because he puts orange and green together all the time. I don't like that combo. And so I knew that kind of going into this, that the color palette was a little bit strange, but I really wanted it to work. I knew that I had to have like 100,000 shades of green for it to work. And so I learned a lot. I learned a lot about green because I normally don't paint in green. I was out of my comfort zone in color for sure. Going into it, what I thought was gonna be difficult was getting the scale right with all of the still life parts, because they're up close and freakishly large compared to the animals. I mean, like this pear half, you know, as big as the deer's head. So I thought that was gonna be what would trip me up, and the foreshortening of a few objects. But it was this daddy deer. I don't know, there's something about the daddy deer, the stag, or no, a buck. Yeah, a stag is something else. Anyway, there's something about the buck that just really made everything difficult. I had the proportions off multiple times. And then Dino came to help me out. First, I was really relieved because I'm like, oh, okay, I keep trying to draw it and I keep messing it up. Dino will fix it. So this is when I just have a cup of coffee while my assistant, you know, paints for me. So the benefits to having children who are artists is, you know, when you've tried to draw it a couple times and you don't get it right and they happen to come in to ask you a question, you can just get them on your painting and, you know, and fix it. How you know you should get the Young Artist program for your child, and then when you're stuck on a painting, you know, they can come in and help you draw it. I think for you guys watching, it is really important as an artist to push the envelope and to challenge yourself and take what it is you do and amplify it. For me, a challenge would be to put more complexity in there, put more elements in there, but still make it work. That would be a challenge. You're gonna get better, you're gonna get more engaged with your work, you're gonna enjoy it better if you push the envelope and do what you really want to do and not be afraid of the challenge, not be afraid of the level of difficulty. Challenge yourself and do the difficult thing and do what you're really excited to paint. So if you want to see the full version of this episode of Start to Finish, then click the link and get your 14-day free trial.